You are about to lose the house you currently live in June because Archangel Michael says, the ground beneath your feet is already shifting. What you thought was stable, secure, and untouched is being inspected in secret shadows. Papers are being exchanged quietly, and you are not being informed because the plan was never to involve you. This is not just a coincidence. The month of June has brought a heaviness that you can feel in your bones, even if no one has spoken it aloud. The energy around your home has shifted. The silence, the visitors, the unspoken glances are warnings. You may have noticed a certain envelope, a strange call, or an unfamiliar man lingering near your gate. These are not accidents. They are signs of a plotted move in motion, and you are being watched carefully, just not openly. The truth is being kept behind closed doors. Your name is not being mentioned, yet your home is on the discussion table. What you once built with memories, effort, and prayers is being eyed by someone with hidden intentions. Archangel Michael says, not everyone who smiles at you wishes you peace. In fact, a person close to you has been speaking about your house as if it already belongs to someone else. They are already planning a future that does not involve you in it. Documents have been accessed. There's a movement occurring involving someone in legal wear. And they've been paid off to process something fast. They want to finalize this before you can resist it. You are not just at risk, you are being erased. A woman in your circle has already confirmed to another person that your departure is inevitable. Her plan is cruel, calculated, and concealed behind layers of fake affection. You've allowed trust where it wasn't earned. And while you've been emotionally invested in other things, someone was emotionally invested in your destruction. They did it silently, deliberately, and with a smile you thought was innocent. Your name is being used in applications you haven't seen. A process of transfer, masked under false urgency, has already passed stage 1. And the second stage is designed to make your voice invalid in the process. The moment you hesitated, they acted. A hidden clause has been activated from an older agreement, and the manipulation was covered by someone with technical experience. You never knew it existed, and that was their advantage. The month of June is their chosen timeline. This is the month where silence becomes eviction if you do not listen carefully. The countdown has already begun, and you, not supposed to hear it. Type Amen to get blessing 333. They believe you won't act in time. They've watched your patterns, your trust, and your daily movements. They used your routine against you, setting this plan into motion when you were most distracted. Archangel Michael says, not all battles are fought with swords, some are fought with signatures. And your name is now in red ink, flagged by someone working in a nearby office. That person was bribed with a promise and a payment. The house that witnessed your laughter is now being whispered about behind your back. Plans are underway to change the locks, change the title, and change the very energy that you've poured into this place for years. A friend of yours knows more than they're saying. They attended a discussion 3 weeks ago where your house was the central topic. But they remained quiet, believing it was none of their business. A man from your past who owes you something is involved indirectly. He is giving silent support to this takeover without facing you directly. His revenge is subtle but dangerous. If you feel uneasy at night, it's because your spirit knows. Your dreams have been warning you, and strange noises are no longer just coincidence. The spiritual atmosphere has been disturbed. The location of your house is part of the motivation. It holds a hidden value that has recently increased, and those who know are making silent moves. Someone wants to live where you live and inherit what you've preserved. They've already informed a new buyer to stay on hold for confirmation. The betrayal is layered and timed, designed to strike when you least expect it. Even the timing of this message reaching you was interfered with by a spiritual delay. They fear your awareness more than anything else. If you awaken to what they're doing, you will block their plan. That's why they're racing the clock, hoping you won't react in time. Type Amen to get blessing 777. One specific woman has been instrumental in pushing this forward. She doesn't live far from you and has been seen making multiple calls recently. Her face may look familiar, but her actions are those of someone possessed by jealousy. Your house has spiritual protection that is still active, but weakening. They've done certain rituals to break the peace of your environment. A dark presence has been invited in through an object placed near your front door. Check near your windows. Check near the back garden. Something has been left there with intention, to mark the territory as no longer yours in the spiritual realm. You are not defenseless, but you must act quickly. The law is only the second layer. The real warfare began weeks ago in the spiritual world. An elderly woman in your bloodline came to your dream for a reason. She was warning you of the energy theft that was occurring. That house was built upon generational honor, and now someone wants to desecrate that. There is a man pretending to help you in this situation. Be careful, he's reporting back everything you say. You need to cleanse your space, but also protect the physical documents related to your home. Someone tried to remove or tamper with one of them when you were away. This was not just a random act. It was an attempt to create proof. You never existed in ownership. Your house was spiritually marked for prosperity. That mark is still there, but they want to replace it with a curse. This is not just real estate. This is a spiritual sanctuary under attack. Type Amen to get blessing 111. There's a letter you haven't seen yet. It's not addressed to you, but it mentions your house and what they plan to do next. It's been hidden inside a folder of unrelated files. That folder was accessed last Wednesday by someone who wasn't supposed to be in your room. There's no sign of entry. But something small has been moved. Your intuition is correct. You're not being paranoid. Archangel Michael says, you were chosen to live in that space for a divine purpose. That purpose hasn't ended, but dark forces want to interrupt it. That house is the last wall standing between you and total displacement. June is the battlefield. The spirits of confusion have already been sent into your environment. They want to make you doubt, delay, and disconnect from the urgency of this moment. A fake claim is about to be made, one that questions your legal right. They are relying on forged technicalities and hidden fine print. Someone is being coached on how to speak when the call comes. Your strength lies not only in awareness, but in timing. You must rise up now. This is not just an attack on your house. It's an attack on your identity, your peace, your calling. Type Amen to get blessing 999. You woke up at the exact time they were speaking about you. That wasn't random, your spirit was responding before. Your mind even knew what was happening. The betrayal touched your atmosphere before it touched your name on paper. Inside a certain envelope that was never delivered to you lies the code to everything. A signature was forged, a form was filed without your consent, and a phone number was added that isn't yours. Every step was calculated to remove you silently. A neighbor has been paid to observe you and give reports. They're not obvious, but they're consistent. Every light you leave on, every visitor, every trip away from home, it's all being monitored and passed on. Someone wants you to become exhausted emotionally, so you don't have the strength to fight legally. That's why strange arguments and sudden conflict are happening around you. They are distractions. Your house was picked not just for what it is, but for what it protects. Beneath your roof is a calling that cannot be replaced. That is what they want to displace, not just your furniture. There was a man who visited your area and stood at your gate without knocking. He stared at your home for 17 minutes. That moment activated a decision on their side, the decision to proceed with urgency. Archangel Michael says, "The wind knows when a storm is coming before the trees do." Your spirit has sensed it, and this is your confirmation. You are not mistaken, what you felt was real. Type Amen to get blessing 144. They fear the fire in you, so they want you gone quietly, gently, and unnoticed. That's why no one is telling you anything directly. They plan to let it all fall into place and then act surprised. One person among them has already had second thoughts. They feel guilt, but they're afraid to speak. That person may try to warn you in a subtle way, through an odd message, a visit, or an anonymous tip. Do not brush that moment aside. When it comes, act on it. That might be the only internal leak in their entire operation. A younger relative of yours was shown documents but didn't understand them. They innocently revealed a detail to someone else, which gave away your weakness. That unintentional act sparked the sudden rise in their boldness. The person who wants your house isn't just an outsider. They have once sat in your home, shared your food, and acted as if they were family. This is a betrayal of sacred trust. They believe they're doing this for their own gain. But there is a deeper darkness using them as a pawn. That's why their behavior has become more reckless, more urgent, and more desperate. Archangel Michael says, this house carries more than bricks. It carries legacy, light, and lineage. That is why the attack is so severe. The darkness wants what was never meant to belong to it. Type Amen to get blessing 222. A man who used to admire you has turned bitter. He saw your growth as a threat. And now, he's helping coordinate this attack from a distance, playing innocent while others execute the dirty work. There's a specific date they're targeting. You might not be aware of it yet, but everything is pointing toward the 3rd week of June. That week is not safe, emotionally, legally, or spiritually. The wind outside your house has changed, even the way the walls feel at night has shifted. There is a tension, a coldness, and it's not natural. They've tried to take your name out of the final document but were stopped by a system error. That delay was divine. But they won't stop trying again. There is a shadow around your hallway, a presence that wasn't there before. They've invoked energies through negative speech and envy. And now your home feels like it's resisting your presence. You're not imagining things, the house knows it is under attack. The energy of the home has begun to speak back in silence, through things falling, doors shifting, lights flickering. A lawyer is involved, and their ethics are already compromised. They were promised a position or favor after the takeover. They have agreed to hide your rightful documents. Type Amen to get blessing 555. Someone whispered, just give it a few more weeks, they won't know until it's done. That sentence was spoken by someone wearing a gold ring, a sign of authority, of deception wrapped in charm. They've gone to the extent of involving someone from the municipal office. A record was supposed to be sealed, but it's now being reopened. You were not informed because they know if you were, you'd stop it immediately. Your silence is their power. That's why this message reaching you now is such a threat to them. They hoped you'd stay unaware until it's too late. There is a digital trace on your name being watched. Someone used your identity to fill out something online. That information will come to you through a wrong email or an unexpected text. Check your spam folder. Check your missed calls, something slipped through, and it's the leak they never intended. The home you're in holds sacred vibrations. You've cried here, healed here, and rebuilt your life here. It cannot be taken unless you remain inactive. Archangel Michael says, you were assigned to this home for a higher purpose, and that assignment is not finished. That's why this war is fierce, because you still hold power in that space. Type Amen to get blessing 888, a spiritual cleansing must occur immediately. Every corner, every entrance, every hidden space. The air must be reset, and the negative attachments cast out. A camera you never noticed before was installed by someone posing as a service technician. They claimed it was for protection, but it streams quietly elsewhere. They want to see when you re-gone. They've discussed moving items in while you re-away for a trip. That's their signal. If you leave for more than 2 days, they believe it means surrender. A locksmith has already been approached. He's hesitant because of something he felt during the conversation. That hesitation might be the thread that saves you. You are being given this warning not just for awareness, but for action. The time is sensitive. One wrong delay could lead to irreversible damage. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. They think you'll be too afraid to respond. They're counting on you feeling overwhelmed, defeated, and hopeless, but what they did not expect is you rising with the force of divine timing. One piece of paper holds the key to exposing all of them. It was stamped on a date they tried to alter, but they missed a number, and that mistake is going to open a door you didn't know existed. You are being called to speak up before the day of transfer arrives. The moment you speak, their power weakens. Your silence feeds their strategy. But your voice will dismantle their structure. You have the legal right to demand a review. And once you do, their setup will crack under pressure. Someone among them will panic and speak what they weren't supposed to say. Type Amen to get blessing 444. Your house is not just a structure, it's a spiritual gate. This is why darkness has always circled your address. The house stands as a barrier, holding back the chaos that tried to reach you before. They want to bring another spirit into that place. One that will bring disturbance, confusion, and destruction. That is why your removal is urgent for them. They need you out to let the darkness in. Archangel Michael says, this war is not just over walls and keys. It is over atmosphere, peace, and alignment. You carry divine order in that space, and they want that broken. But even now, there is still time. The angels have circled your home more than once in the last week. They are guarding it, waiting for your signal. You must stand in your space and declare that nothing shall be stolen. Speak with authority, even if no one hears you physically, the spirit realm will obey. There is a woman pretending to be helping you. She acts as if she's loyal, but her conversations at night tell another story. She is close to the person who wants to move in after you're gone. Her silence is louder than her words. Watch how she reacts when you mention the house. Her avoidance is proof that she's involved. Type Amen to get blessing 999. You will soon receive a call from someone acting as if they care about your financial well-being. But their words are a trap. They will suggest you sell, release, or simplify your life. Don't fall for it. That suggestion is laced with manipulation. Once you agree, even out of politeness, they will document your consent and twist it as permission. They already tried doing that with someone else's home, and they succeeded because that person stayed silent. But you, chosen one, are not meant to follow that path. The document they're forging contains your incorrect address format. That's where their downfall begins. The system will reject it unless someone inside the office pushes it through manually. That's why they've tried to bribe an insider. But the insider is hesitating. They know your energy, and they feel resistance every time your name appears on their screen. Archangel Michael says, not even signed documents can override divine ownership. Your home was gifted to you for a reason. And that reason still echoes in every corner of your walls. The wind knows your voice. The ground beneath that house responds to your steps. It cannot agree with another owner unless you have truly surrendered. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. You are being spiritually awakened to fight, not with weapons, but with wisdom, timing, and revelation. What was hidden is being exposed line by line. Go to your older records, open that drawer you haven't touched in months. There is a file that holds a forgotten detail, a signature from the original owner, a witness note, or a secondary clause. That single page is what they fear. If you find it, their structure crumbles. That's why they've tried to distract you with people, stress, and false emergencies. A shadow figure appeared in your dream last night. That wasn't random. That was the manifestation of the one who invoked something against your name, a presence sent to whisper fear into your soul, but you survived that dream. You woke up stronger. That means their attempt failed, and they're scrambling for Plan B. There is a name that keeps showing up, either in passing, on calls, or in conversations. That name is connected to the bribe. Write it down, even if you're unsure why. It will become useful in the legal exposure. Type Amen to get blessing 1010. The house doesn't just belong to you. It responds to you. The walls have memory, and every moment you've spent there has been sealed with spiritual energy. This is why your sudden emotional shifts aren't random. They are reactions to the atmosphere being disturbed. Someone is trying to rewire the energy of your home without your permission. They placed a symbolic object near your main entrance. It's disguised as something harmless, a stone, a gift, or even a paper item, but it carries an assignment. Remove it immediately. Burn or bury it far from your land. That action will cut the cord that was spiritually connected to your space. Archangel Michael says, you were never meant to be removed from what you built. The spiritual timeline of your life requires you to remain in that space for this season. Moving now would break alignment. That's why you must rise with urgency. This is not just a physical eviction attempt, it is a spiritual dislocation plot. You've been chosen to break generational displacement. The ones before you were pushed out, betrayed, or tricked into surrendering what was theirs. But you will not be. Type Amen to get blessing 666. Your enemies underestimated the timing of this warning. They didn't want you to see it, to feel it, to act on it, but now, the tables are turning. A specific office clerk has begun to feel guilt. They are the one who helped push your name aside in the first place, and now, they're considering leaking information to you anonymously. You may receive a letter with no return address. Inside will be a photocopy or a partial page. Treat it with care. That's the missing puzzle piece. They've done this before, but this time, divine interference is halting their usual success. You've broken a pattern just by surviving until now. Archangel Michael says, a sudden move will not be allowed unless it is divine. What they're planning will backfire. They forgot one important thing. Your house is sealed, and no counterfeit signature. No bribe. No whispered conversation can undo that seal. If you wish to express your support further, type Amen to get blessing 1717.